Hello. Ken is putting our live on the TV right now, so we can watch it there. Hope everybody's had a good week. Make sure we're live here.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, yeah, there's me.
There's Mom.
Yep, that's me.
Oh, yep, you are live. I'm grunting.
We already got 3 people watching.
Yay! The echo off the mandolin always gets me. Sorry. Evening, everybody. Sunday, November 16th.
All day.
All day. It's been a weird weather week. You know, this morning we started off. I mean, this week Monday was snow and wind, and in the 20s. So that made everything outside fun on Monday and Tuesday. Then
no, not fun. It was bird chilies.
Yeah. And then Wednesday it did start to rebound, and this morning it was almost tropical.
Neither one of us slept well last night.
No, the wind was
We
blowing.
heard the wind, and for whatever reason, in my mind, it was a cold wind. And then when we got outside this morning, it was like 60.
Yeah, it was like 63 degrees this morning when we went outside.
No wonder I was so warm last night.
Yeah, it was crazy weather. But the wind's been blowing all day, and
now it's cooler.
There's been a change in the weather, as they say in Mary Poppins.
Change in the wind.
Yeah, changing the wind. But yeah, it's getting chillier out there now, but is what it is. It is November. As far as updates are going, started to try to grow fodder just as a supplemental feed, and I failed. So we'll be trying that again.
No, I don't think it's a fail. I think it's just we need to refigure it out.
I need to revisit it, and plus I want to put it on a lower shelf instead of the top shelf, and that way I could get a different fan going, blowing across in our grow tunnel. Our grow tent is where we're trying to grow the fodder. But that's something I'm trying to do. And then I'm also trying to sharpen my skills when it comes to knife sharpening. So I'm got a new tool that I'm not ready to show yet, and so I started it Saturday, messing with it with a practice knife, and still got a lot of
very funny.
So I'm going to be working with that to try to get that going and get that all figured out and get that skill down, because that's a skill one of us needs to have, because we use knives for a lot of things.
Well, I'm watching you learn how to sharpen, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's a task that is just your task.
Yeah.
I mean, because both of us have different tasks that we do, and
nothing gender specific.
No.
I mean, we never.
But to have sharp knives when you're harvesting, yes.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Like if Amy's, because a lot of times it's usually Amy that's doing a lot of the knife work. So why I'm cleaning and doing other things. So it just really does make sense for me to be doing more of the sharpening, because you're doing more of the
dulling.
So yeah, we'll be showing that tool here, in the upcoming videos. Then no, we have an opportunity maybe to start doing some additional butchering for some of the locals, in talks with people, and that's another reason we need to make sure we have sharp knives constantly for that. Then the roadwork project is pretty much done. Thrilled with the way it is right now. especially compared to what it was. We put 9 new tiles in
I think so.
between the road and the easement. So that's a lot of water being taken off the mountain instead of
Before
running
it rushes down.
before it all rushes the shale down the mountain. So that's huge. What else? Going through a lot of hay.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 2 bales a day. So,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, you're the one that feeds the sheep. I take care of the chickens right now. If I was home more often, I'd be take on more of that. So my prayer over the next while is that I love my job. Don't get me wrong, but I would love to be home more so that I could focus more on the farm and other money-making opportunities.
Growing more aspects of the ministry.
Yes. So I'm getting pulled. In as much as I was pulled out this past summer, I feel like I'm getting pulled back in to focus on like getting food to shut-ins, and it's really weighing on me, and you know that.
Yes. And with getting that food to shut-ins, that means we have to grow more, and we have to grow something more than just meat and eggs. So, big news flash.
I applied for a grant back in April, and 4 weeks ago, I got an email. I totally forgot about it, but we were awarded a grant for a greenhouse.
Yeah, for a high tunnel.
Yeah. So it's a big thing. The check was delivered Monday.
Yep.
So Ken's been researching and figuring out what we can get delivered, installed, Yeah,
turnkey. Because we know with how busy we get, we're not going to be able to take the time to install it ourselves. And, what I want to do is make sure that the professional installs this tunnel, because I don't want to just have it being me saying, well, that'll be good enough, or, something like that. So we're in talks right now with a company. Of course, they were closed for Sabbath, so they shut down Friday afternoon. So we'll pick up those conversations again tomorrow, see where we're at, get that all taken care of, get that moving forward.
Yeah.
Our goal is to have it delivered and installed before Christmas. Can you imagine that? I mean,
the ultimate goal is to have everything all set up. So that's just the greenhouse on the ground, nothing inside of it. So we have to figure out, are we doing raised beds? Are we doing like the bricks up? Like there's so much else that needs to be done, but a majority of the costs are covered. We're still praying on how some of the rest will get covered, but we are moving fully forward in faith, knowing that God is going to bless this, because this greenhouse isn't for us.
No.
We want like 90% of the food.
I eat meat.
We really want 90% of the food that comes out of this greenhouse to go into Hot Springs.
Yes.
Because I don't know, for the people who don't know this area, Hot Springs is actually considered a food desert. The best produce you're going to find is at Dollar General, only when the cooler's working.
Yes.
Otherwise, there are not any places to get produce unless you drive 35 minutes away to the grocery store.
And, having it in the high tunnel, we could actually put perimeter fence around it to keep critters out, to keep cats out, to keep dogs out, to keep chickens out, so that we don't have to worry about things getting into it. It's protected from the wind. It's protected from the rain. It has, and it's warm. So it extends our growing season. Up here on the knoll, we get full sun all the time. So, and it'll have roll-up sides so that the ventilation could go through in the hot months, so that we could really control it. It'll have a people door on one side and maybe a tractor door on the other side. It'll be just zip up sides for the tractor door, because we're not fancy. But we are trying to make sure that what we get will suffice as we get older.
Right.
And be able to provide abundance for the area.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well said.
So, because I'm getting you know, yeah.
Farming keeps us young.
Yes, farming keeps us young. Let's just say that. But yeah, so there's pieces and parts coming together, you know, daily as we're going through this. One thing falls out, another thing pops up, another thing. We're just trying to go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Follow the path that the Lord leads us on.
One big blessing this week.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
I got heat in my car.
Yes. Yes.
So I dropped off my car Monday to get the heater.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday afternoon, but he didn't start working on it till Monday. Got the heater core replaced, so now it's nice. I got heat.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
This week is a very important week, and it's also a fun week. But at the church we go to this week is we're doing a meal this week. Normally we do it on the first Wednesday of the month with our Bible study, but this month being Thanksgiving, we do a turkey dinner. And what it is, 4 of us smoke turkeys, and we have a taste test competition. So my turkey is in the brine, and it's ready to go, and I will start smoking that on Wednesday. And as I'm doing that, I will have on my Great American Family Christmas movies, binge watching as I'm smoking. So that's what I'm going to be doing Wednesday. And then that starts at 6. That's when we have to be there earlier than 6 to get our turkeys cut up and prepared. Probably start having dinner by 7, but
I think they start pretty much right after 6. Dinner's at 6.
Well,
so
we'll start the competition at 6.
Okay.
I don't know what time food is supposed to start getting there, but we'll find that out later. Yeah, old. Yes, old. Even she says I'm old. What else was there? I think that's about it. I think.
Yeah.
Got anything else? Yeah, we're not going to be very long-winded. So tonight we're gonna take the last 6 chapters and divide them between this week and next week. Because right now, so last night we had beef short ribs for dinner, and tonight we're having leftover beef short ribs for dinner, and I can smell them. I'm hungry. So
I'll tell you, I've tried to make them a couple of times, and I think I've rushed them. And short ribs it's a low and slow thing.
It's patience.
And I'll tell you what, I think I knocked it out of the park last night.
You did. You did. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one thing I love about him watching. It's like, you like Hallmark movies?
Yeah, I get picked on a lot, but that's okay. They're simple plots. You don't have to guess the plot. You just follow along. It's simple. It's easy.
And we always guess.
And you go wee at the end.
You do.
So tonight we're going to read 3 chapters, and that'll take us right up to the garden. And then next week we'll start with 26 and we'll go to the end of Matthew. But tonight we're going to do 23, 24, and 25. And like I said, 26, 27, and 28 next week. I have a feeling there's something else I'm forgetting, but that's okay. If everybody's ready, we're again Matthew 23, and as always, Amy will get us started.
Okay. Matthew 23. Then Jesus said to the crowds and to his disciples, "The teachers of the law and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, so you must obey them and do everything they tell you, but do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. They tie up heavy loads and put them on men's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to lift a finger to move them. Everything they do is done for men to see. They make their
Phylacteries
wide and the tassels on their garments long. They love the place of honor at banquets and the most important seats in the synagogues. They love to be greeted in marketplaces and to have men call them rabbi. But you are not to be called rabbi, for you have only one master, and you are all brothers. And you do not call anyone on earth father, for you have one Father, and he is in heaven. Nor are you to be called teacher, for you have the one teacher, the Christ. The greatest among you will be your servant. For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Woe to you, teachers of the law, Pharisees, you hypocrites! You shut the kingdom of heaven in men's faces. You yourselves do not enter, nor will you let those enter who are trying to. Woe to you, teachers of the law, Pharisees, you hypocrites! You travel over the land and sea to win a single convert, and when he becomes one, you make him twice as much of a son of hell as you are. Woe to you, blind guides! You say, if anyone swears by the temple, it means nothing. But if anyone swears by the gold of the temple, he is bound by the oath. You blind fools! Which is greater, the gold or the temple that makes the gold sacred? You also say, if anyone swears by the altar, that means nothing. But if anyone swears by the gift on it, he is bound by the oath. You blind men! Which is greater, the gift or the altar that makes the gift sacred? Therefore, he who swears by the altar swears by it and everything on it. And he who swears by the temple swears by it and by the one who dwells in it. And he who swears by heaven swears by God's throne and the one who sits on it. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You give a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, and cumin, but you have neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter without neglecting the former. You blind guides! You strain out a gnat, but swallow a camel.
I'll take it from there because there's no blocks.
Okay.
Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, and then the outside will be clean. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of dead men's bones and everything unclean. In the same way, on the outside you appear to people as righteous, but on the inside you are full of hypocrisy and wickedness. All you think is of lightness, the hypocrisy, and I don't know why. But woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You build tombs for the prophets and decorate the graves of the righteous. And you say, if we had lived in the days of our forefathers, we would not have taken part with them in shedding of the blood of the prophets. So you testify against yourselves that you are the descendants of those who murdered the prophets. Fill up, then, the measure of the sin of your forefathers. You snakes, you brood of vipers, how will you escape being condemned to hell? Therefore, I am sending you prophets and wise men and teachers. Some of them you will kill and crucify. Others you will flog in your synagogues and pursue from town to town. And so upon you will come all the righteous blood that has been shed on earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah, son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the temple and the altar. I tell you the truth, all this will come up this generation. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who killed the prophets and stoned those who sent to you, how often I have longed to gather your children together, as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, but you were not willing. Look, your house is left to you desolate, for I tell you, you will not see me again until you say, Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord.
Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to its buildings. Do you see all these things? He asked. I tell you the truth, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, when will this happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and at the end of the age? Jesus answered, Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but at the end of it, still to come, nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All of these are the beginnings of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but he who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation, spoken through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the roof of his house go down to take anything out of the house. Let no one in the field go back to get his cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that your flight will not take place in winter or on the Sabbath, for then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, Look, here is the Christ, or there he is, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and miracles to deceive even the elect. If that were possible, see, I have told you ahead of time. So if anyone tells you, There he is out in the desert, do not go out. Or here he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever there is a carcass, the vultures will gather.
Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that same time, the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and all the nations of the earth will mourn. They will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of the sky with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. Now, learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see all these things, you know that it is near, right at the door. I tell you the truth, this generation will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. No one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son of Man, but only the Father. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken, and the other left. 2 women will be gathering with a handmill. One will be taken, and the other left. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. But understand this, if the owner of the house had known at what time of night the thief was coming, he would have kept watch, and so would not have left his house to be broken into. So you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect him. Who then is the faithful and wise servant, whom the master has put in charge of the servants in his household, to give them their food at the proper time? It will be good for that servant whose master finds him doing so when he returns. I tell you the truth, he will put him in charge of all his possessions. But suppose that servant is wicked and says to himself, my master is staying away a long time. And he then begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour he is not aware of it. He will cut him into pieces and assign him a place with the hypocrites, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
At that time, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps, went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. The foolish ones took their lamps, but did not take any oil with them. The wise, however, took oil in jars along with their lamps. The bridegroom was a long time in coming, and they all became drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight, the cry rang out, here's the bridegroom, come out and meet him. Then all the virgins woke up and trimmed their lamps. The foolish ones said to the wise, give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out. No, they replied, there may not be enough for both of us and you. Instead, go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves. But while they were on their way to buy the oil, the bridegroom arrived. The virgins who were ready went in with him to the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Later the others also came. Sir, sir, they said, open the door for us. But he replies, I tell you the truth, I don't know you. Therefore keep watch, because you do not know the day or the hour.
Again, it will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents of money, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received the 5 talents went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 more. So also the one with the 2 talents gained 2 more. But the man who had received the 1 talent went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who had received the 5 talents brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 talents. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. The man with the 2 talents also came. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 2 talents. See, I have gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. And come and share your master's happiness. Then the man who had received the 1 talent came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid, went out, and hid your talent in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you. His master replied, you wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed? Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I returned, I would have received it back with interest. Take the talent from him and give it to the one who has the 10 talents. For everyone who has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him, and thrown that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me." Excuse me. "I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go visit you?" The king will reply, "I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." Then he will say to those on his left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me." They will also answer, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison and did not help you?" He will reply, "I tell you the truth, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me." Then they will go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous to eternal life.
We'll just let that sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Separating the sheep and the goats.
We don't have goats anymore.
We don't have goats anymore. We separated the goats. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna end it there for tonight. But please be in prayer for us as we make this pretty big decision of what we're doing, how we're doing the high tunnel. That's going to be a big part of the ministry outreach and getting real food to real people. And we really want to make sure we're doing what the word says and being good stewards of, what we've been given, like the talents, if we've been given a lot, we want to do a lot with it. We're responsible to do a lot with it. We just don't want to bury that in the ground. We want to produce the abundance.
Yeah.
Not for us. It's never for us. It's always for him. So yes.
You should put that on a shirt.
Maybe someday. But again, if you have any prayer requests and don't want them made public, if you want to find our email below, please email us. We will pray for you. We do pray for you. Again, keep us in your prayers with all these things going on. And, just as we get colder in these colder months, travel becomes a little more precarious. Life in general becomes a little more precarious. So, be safe, be cautious, And even in these crazy times, life is kind of a challenge. So as a Christian community, we lift each other up and we carry each other through the hard times. So be on the lookout for your brothers and sisters. And, as I tell Mama when she goes to work, let your little light shine. Y'all take care now.